You might be wondering what a story about Bitcoin is doing in the middle of nowhere. And I mean nowhere. With towns like Wink, named after the fact that if you blink, you might miss it, this vast region of West Texas, widely known as the Permian Basin, is not exactly the Big Apple. But that doesn't mean it's not important. In fact, its primary export is the cornerstone to life as we know it. Energy. That's right. West Texas has energy for sale. Lots of it, and it is cheap. And where there's cheap energy these days, you're bound to find these things pop up like suckerfish. These are Bitcoin miners, specialized machines custom-built to solve complex problems to earn that magical internet money that we're all really tired of hearing about. Wow. The old saying's true, everything really is bigger in Texas. But despite this vast expanse of panels, solar and other renewables remain an intermittent power source that doesn't even come close to satiating Bitcoin's appetite. To do that, Bitcoin miners need to buy power from sources with a surplus of energy. And believe it or not, there's quite a few options around here. So where are we going now? It's a substation. What does that mean?
This is a substation that we are going to be taking power from. There's a lot of excess power out here that just is available, but is not being utilized at this time. So
what were they, or I guess what are they currently doing with the excess?
Nothing.
So it just goes into the ground?
Right.
This type of power is known as stranded energy, and it's quite literally energy that has nowhere to go. And this is what occupies a lot of Justin's time, finding sources of stranded or excess energy and capturing it. He's doing a deal with this substation that has too much energy. They literally cannot give it away before they have to let it go.
This is the Owl Hill substation, and it's going to be a 40 megawatt site here.
So this is like the giant outlet in the wall that you're going to plug your Bitcoin, your computers into.
Yeah.
The sources of stranded energy are as diverse as energy itself, and a true energy hunter finds power from places you couldn't dream of. What are we actually going to see?
So we're going to go to a well site that has a flare stack on it. But these wells are not economic from selling natural gas type standpoint, but they can be economic for us to go mine Bitcoin on because the amount of gas the required to mine is so small.
So like when you see that, can you just imagine Bitcoins coming out of there?
I'm coming right out of the top.
Money, basically?
I'm catching them. I got a basket I run around with.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist, I'm just an actor, to understand that capping flared gas and turning it into energy is a lot greener than releasing it into the atmosphere. But there's a huge but here. Much of Bitcoin miners' current operations plug straight into grids that power homes and offices. A lot comes from non-renewable sources like natural gas and coal. Not only that, but Bitcoin's energy demands could potentially strain the grid's output, taking power away from residents who need it, especially in times of emergencies. In February of 2021, an ice storm brought the state to its knees, overwhelming the power grid, causing it to shut down.
No heat, no water after this first storm, and it's been deadly.
246 people died. Today, we're in the midst of an insane heat wave. In fact, the day we filmed this, almost every Bitcoin miner in the state had to shut down to accommodate peak demand for energy. Can a state with such serious energy concerns really afford to sell their power to Bitcoin miners? As it turns out, Bitcoin maximalists have an argument for why their intense power demands on the grid is actually a good thing for energy stability.
They're not putting the Texas grid at risk. They're actually stabilizing the Texas grid. There is a balance that is required for the grid to continue to operate, and it's a very small tolerance that you can get above or below. The benefit of Bitcoin mining for the grid is that you take your base load from this to this. When you keep your base load higher, when you do have a peak demand from residential use because of a storm or whatever, it's much easier to already just start curtailing your power away from the Bitcoin miners. They shut down, and it is diverted to the residential use.
Did you get all that? Yeah, neither did I. So I decided to zoom in for a second opinion with independent energy consultant Doug Lewin.
Is the grid
And are the energy sources capable of supporting all of the growth in crypto?
So I think the answer is a firm maybe.
And what it depends on is good regulation. And of course, Texas is not necessarily a state that has a reputation for being good at regulating anything, unfortunately.
Well, women's bodies.
So you have to keep things at 60 hertz. If a plant drops, your frequency drops. You need something to balance that. You have to balance supply and demand at every second. I do think large flexible loads, whether that's Bitcoin or others, have a lot going for them if, and this is a huge if they are using clean sources of energy to power their operations, and if they will shut down when things are getting tight on the grid. I would like to see us be able to integrate Bitcoin miners, not because I care a lot about Bitcoin mining. I don't. What I care about is, in order to get Texas to a place where Texas is the leader in low polluting, low emission, clean energy, we are going to need a lot of large flexible loads. If they can do it, then we've got a template for these other large flexible loads to enter the market.
And that is how, in a perfect world of fulfilled ifs, Bitcoin mining's constant exponential demand for power can help stabilize the energy grid and drive innovation towards sustainability. Man, Bitcoin miners really are the suckerfish of the energy sector. But here's the thing. Despite their unfortunate name, suckerfish keep the big fish clean, all while getting what they need to survive. Sure, yeah, it's kind of parasitic, but at the same time, it's elegantly symbiotic. In a weird way, that's what Bitcoin miners are proposing to do to our power grids. Let's not forget that guys like Justin are still a minority in this space, and that even if he was to use only renewables, he wouldn't make much of a dent in the estimated 73 million tons of carbon dioxide per year that Bitcoin mining emits. Maybe we should coin a new phrase here, like sucker coins or fish bits, or not.
Wouldn't it be amazing if we could stop talking about Bitcoin?
Look, I know Bitcoin's pretty annoying, and you're probably hoping it just goes away. But so long as dudes like Justin think they can get rich from mining the stuff, it's probably here to stay. And if there really is a chance that mining this stuff can help stabilize our grids, then maybe we should give the suckerfish a chance.